Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. First, I wanted to thank the Ottawa Design Club for reaching out to me. These opportunities are something that I very much appreciate and am very honored to be asked to do. So I don't take these things lightly, and it's also awesome to meet lovely people. Shout out to Ryan. It's great to be paired with somebody like himself. It's a great opportunity, and we got a great group here. So I'm going to get loud. I'm going to swear a lot. So buckle up. We're going to have some fun. All right, now a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to share my screen. So I'm not going to be able to see people necessarily. I'm going to be asking some questions. I want you to show my hands. There's a part where I want you to shout out some answers. And then we're going to do a little karaoke, and there'll be a dance moment. And okay, those last two things we're not going to do. But I'm relying on when we have, you know what? Shout out to Jasmine. This is Don Draper's apartment. Awesome. Full marks. That's great. Unfortunately, I do not have a martini. I have a side. I shouldn't say unfortunate because it's a cider, and that's kind of awesome too. All right, let's do this. So let me share. I'm going to do this little thing I like to call sharing my screen. All right, and we are good. We're alive.
We're live.
Fantastic. So welcome, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Stop Looking for Zebras, a practical guide to the preposterous. And that is essentially where we're at, my friends, this day and age. I'm going to be broad in addressing the audience in that I'm assuming the majority of us make our living being creative. It is a career. It is something that is tied to a paycheck. So this is not about fine art. This is not about personal expression. This is about communications. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Something I'm very passionate about. And something that I can honestly say at the age that I'm at, which is not in my 30s, which is not in my 40s, that I get up every morning, and I'm very honest about this. I get up every morning excited to be doing what I do. And it is an absolute privilege. And I wrote Stop Looking for Zebras because I want that for everybody. It's a struggle sometimes. It's hard, but it is so fulfilling, and I want everybody to have that moment. So why stop looking for zebras? What is that all about? Well, basically, it's a quote from a doctor. When you hear hoofbeats, think of horses, not zebras. And this is actually something that is taught to medical interns in their first year, specifically when they're working in the ER. And when you're triaging clients when they come in, it's very fast paced and you don't have a lot of time. So when somebody presents with a sore stomach, don't think of some strange, obscure bacteria from the rainforest. They may have just had bad sushi and their stomach's a little sore, and it'll pass, right? So that's what's it about. And when we look at our industry as designers and well, I'll say creative communicators, we come to this industry from a place of art. We are the kids that love to draw, that love to write, that tore paper and made things. And when the boxes came in from the fridge and that, we made forts, we made rocket ships, we did all of this fun stuff. So we are those people. And we were crushed in high school when it was no longer cute. It was no longer, we weren't getting the pencil crayons and the things for a birthday present. Okay, now, you really should find a career. And, 30 years in, I'm saying I've got an incredible career. And it was not what everybody expected. So when we look for in our industry, again, we bring that artistic aesthetic, we bring that artistic mentality into our work. And in some cases, because it is based in play in a lot of cases and should be, that we don't feel that we should charge for it, or that we feel almost shy charging for it, because it's something that we enjoy. It's something we take pleasure in doing. when realistically, and we can all agree that in this day and age, specifically right now, that it is a strategic advantage for any business that we work for. It's something that is needed, and we need to be charging for that. However, again, like I said, and I'm going to reiterate it again, this is not fine art, this is not personal expression. We still search out for that unique idea, that truly 100% new thing that we created that. And the reality is, it's like looking for a zebra in North America. You're a little more likely to find a horse than you are to find a zebra. And that's what we need to get over, is we need to understand that not everything needs to be original, not everything is going to be original. And in fact, our audience aren't going to like anything 100% original. They can't deal with it. 100% original content and ideas make people uncomfortable. So even if we have that 100% new idea, we need to wrap that new in the familiar so that it is palatable. Example, the iPhone. At this day and age, the iPhone is, the third or fourth thing down on the list of usage is actually the phone part. What people are really looking for this day and age is a better camera, better downloadable apps, all of these things that are before the idea of a phone. But we needed a frame of reference. It's a phone. Oh, by the way, it does all of these other things. All right, so we need to keep that in mind. I want you to shout out. This is class. Yes, I did say class. You're the class. This is class right now. There might be homework. There's a test, so pay attention. All right. Name someone known for innovation. Shout it out. I want to hear your voices.
So we can, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Oprah, Kim Kardashian, actually, she has shapewear, and that's cool. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
People are saying in the chat, Kanye West.
Okay, so there we go, right? So these are all people that we consider are innovators, all right? So I'm gonna pick two. I'm gonna pick Andy Warhol, and I'm gonna pick Stephen Jobs. They're polar opposites to what we do. One of them is an artist, the other is an innovator in the technologies area. But we can all agree that they were innovators in their industries. When we think of art, that's one of the names that pops up in our head is Andy Warhol, for example. Now, when we take that apart and we look at these people as innovators, okay, Andy Warhol did not create anything original. It was all based on pre-existing material. Marilyn Monroe, Campbell's soup cans, everything he did pre-existed. He interpreted his way and then created ownership and acknowledgement. Stephen Jobs and Apple, I'll say Apple for the most part. So what we're seeing here is the comparison of Apple products versus products designed by a German designer, Dieter Rams, mainly for Braun. So if we look at the original iPod, this is a Dieter Rams radio. This is the iMac. This is a monitor that Dieter Rams designed. This is the Apple camera for video. This is Dieter Rams' design. This is the Dieter Rams Braun calculator. This is the Apple calculator, okay? Nothing was original. Apple created nothing original. Everything pre-existed. Touch screens, smartphones, MP3, all of these things pre-existed. All they did was make them better, all right? The true innovation of Apple is actually in cooling chips, which is fucking boring, right? But that's the true, because that's why we have the Air. That's why we have everything they make is so small, because they know how to cool chips down. That's not sexy. What you're seeing on the screen, that's sexy, right? All right, so Lion King, show of hands, who loves the Lion King? Not the live action, you psychos. The original, this one, the real one, okay? Right? Love, 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 love. Oh my God, love, love, love. It's Hamlet, but with lions. Literally. All right, blew my mind when I realized this. Okay, those of you familiar with Hamlet, okay? Timon and Pumbaa are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Holy shit. Insane, but true. Hamlet, it is exactly Hamlet, exactly, but with lions. But we all have this connection with it, and not with Shakespeare. Most of us, Felix, I saw you shaking your head. All right. We're like, I don't know, whatever. Like Shakespeare, it's something I didn't want to do at high school. Right. But oh my God, I'm going to watch Lion King 20 times. All right. Now, talking about the bar, talking about Shakespeare, right? There's a writing innovator. Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Henry V, King Lear, Macbeth, Julius Caesar, All's Well That Ends Well, and Two Gentlemen of Verona were all pre-existing stories. They were either histories or Greek tragedies. They all existed. He did not create these. He interpreted them and wrote them in his own voice and breathed life into them. Not original in any stretch of the imagination. And even if you're not into Shakespeare, Felix, we have Romeo and Juliet, you're familiar with, Hamlet, Henry V, even if you didn't read these, okay, we're in 2021. People are familiar with this work and they associate Romeo and Juliet with Shakespeare, not his story. Henry V is a history, right? So these are things that we've got to keep in mind. So we don't have to create these things. Again, that goes into the world of art and that. Okay, Squid Games. Who's in for Squid Games? Who's watching Squid Games? Who's heard of Squid Games? Who is going to be binge watching Squid Games, right? Okay, there it is. Why? Because we heard about it on social media and I can watch it anytime I want at my own pace. I don't have to wait for anything. It's there. It's awesome, right? It is on demand. Fantastic. However, this ability to have work, have art, have content on demand has trickled down into the world of business. So now our clients have an expectation of on-demand creativity because they've been conditioned by Netflix and Spotify and companies like that they can get things immediately, that they can get things on demand. Problem is, on-demand culture is based on pre-existing content. Squid Games was already done and in the can and finished. Everything on Spotify is done on the can and finished. Okay, it's done. So it's easy to pull that stuff. Whereas creativity, when the client says, I need a disruptive social media post about toilet paper, it's like, well, shit. See what I did there? It's a problem, right? Because it's like the creative process hasn't changed. So what do we do, right? Now our clients want creativity on demand. Well, fuck, that's not a good. So I have 4 tricks, 4 ways to short circuit that system to still deliver quality work, to still deliver work that you're proud of, that you put in your portfolio, that is strategic, that gets results, but is also done in a timely manner so that you can get your client happy, you happy, etc. So here we go. Number 1, designing in a vacuum is for Dyson. Okay, you're not alone. Inspiration is everywhere. You need to be aware. We are in a society right now, particularly because of pandemic, that we are stuck in our houses and we're stuck and we aren't experiencing the world around us as much as we used to, or the people around us as much as we used to. It is opening up and we've got to be cognizant of that. And the fact that even though we are not face to face, collaboration is key. And I can honestly say, after all of these years in the industry, whenever I collaborated with somebody, my work was better. It was always better. That person brought something to the table that I could not have done, and an interpretation. It was awesome. Okay, so designing in a vacuum is for Dyson. All right, so when we're in this pandemic, or you've got this project and you're putting it all on your own shoulders because you're going to design the shit out of it, right? Like, don't turtle, don't hide on the couch, don't get Squid Games out. Like, fuck it, I'm just going to watch something post-apocalyptic because that just makes my world seem so much better. No, okay, there are people around you. There is support. Get out there, meet people, and get some work done. I'm going to shout out to Raw, the magazine, okay, right? That's collaboration. That's only great because of the people involved, not the person. All right, let it go, Picasso. This ain't fine art. There's no time for light bulbs, muses, or lightning bolts. This is not personal expression. And I like this illustration too, because it's basically telling you, get your head out of your ass. All right. Stop trying to over design stuff. I love that you want to do that. I do, I truly do. But sometimes it's just a fucking form. Nobody gives a shit about the kerning on a form. Nobody cares about, well, I prefer the Arial to the Gotham because nobody gives a fuck. It's a form. Can they read it? Is there good contrast? Awesome. Move on, because you've got a logo to do, and that means more creative work going on, right? So don't put that 100% into everything, because you know sometimes you're like, dude, seriously, I think we've overdone it, Dave. Okay, like we went a little far here. Dial that back. Number 3, I really wish I had that scream at the beginning of the show, because I really wanted to have that on this. But anyways, follow the evidence. Read the brief, do your research, the answers are there. This is your secret. This, I don't understand why people don't do this more. There is no excuse for you sitting in front of the computer saying, I have no idea. Well, this is going to take me forever. I don't know where to go with this. I don't know where to take this. Bullshit. All right. You have a client, they have a product or a service, they have an audience, they have competitors. You are dripping in evidence to build on. All right. And I'm going to show you how I did that with a brand that eventually sold for $800 million. All right. And it is 100% evidence-based design. But when people looked at it, they said, fuck, that's innovative. And it's not. It is not. All right. So for people, Nashville, shout out, who aren't familiar with Farm Boy, it is a series of stores in Ontario who serve fresh food and only fresh food. Can't get light bulbs, can't get cat litter, can't get toilet paper. Only fresh food. I started working with them over 20 years ago when there was only 3 stores and they had 4 different logos. Yes, that math is correct. What were they thinking? I get it, right? So I went in to clean it up. So this logo is one of the results of that. So it started with a logo design. Then it got huge and much deeper than that. And that's because of the evidence. That's because of the reminding. And they literally called me this, the brand police internally. I was constantly reminding them of who they were and why they were doing this. All right. This is their original stuff. So this is the original, Farm Boy here, and we'll get into him in a minute. This is the original. This is the 3rd generation of logo when I took over the brand. All right. So he's looking a little bit like a monkey, not gonna lie. We can see it. All right. Now, these are the logos, which were iterations of the sign that was out front of the store. And one of them was scaring children. Okay. I shit you not. And I'm assuming some parents too. Okay. And I'm pretty sure you can guess which one was scaring children, because fuck. Who wants to get an eaten apple by that psycho? All right. That, like, what were you thinking? So what I did was I went in before I did any work for them. I went into the stores and experienced the shopping at the store. And I associated with, sorry, I'm gonna have to do this. So because it's all food and it's all high quality food, and whenever they bring a new thing into the store, it's got to be from an expert in whatever that is. So I associated Farm Boy with a Mennonite community or an Amish community where everybody had a thing that they were really good at. There was a fishmonger, there was a butcher. So we're looking at 1800s farms and things like that. Now in Ottawa, we're very lucky to have a living museum called Upper Canada Village, which is just that. It's an 1800s farm where people dress and live the lifestyle during the summer. And it's exactly what, to me, Farm Boy was all about. So I spent 2 days. I have not designed anything. I've done nothing for them. I'm going there for 2 days to really experience what that lifestyle was like so that I could build this brand. So this is the town here, and they've got everything, all the, they've got a farmer, they've got a granary, they've got a baker, they've got all of these things in this town. And then you can go in and experience it, right? This is the baker. Now I find it really funny that there's like, this line here, like it's a zoo or something. It's like, do not look directly at the baker. Do not feed the baker. Do not, talk to the baker. Anyways, I find that kind of funny. So I spent 2 days taking photographs, sketching, and writing down. And I was observing things like the fonts used on the signs, the colors, the tone, like the stone that's out here. All of the elements that I was seeing, there was a lot of timber frame, for example. This is inside the granary. Bags of flour, barrels, exposed ceilings, plaster walls. This is in the bakery, so they've got all of these elements. And then I also looked at the Farmer's Almanac, because that was very prevalent at that time. You could see the years right here. So what was that like? So all of this informed my design. I have not done any design at this point. I'm gathering evidence. Okay, so we go here. And as designers, we should also look at, this is not strip mining, right? So when you look at a brand and you're working on, like these guys, for example, it's like, not everything is bad. There's things that we can work with. Okay, this is bad, all right? But this is a stepping off point because he's you know, it's farm boy, he's a farm boy. The layout's not that great, but he's got a basket of stuff, so that's good. So that's where the logo ended up. We stepped off of that, we evolved it. We didn't need to start from scratch, right? But now he's got vegetables, he's got bread, he's got salami, he's got cheese, right? And we brought the name down so that there's a better, everything spoke properly, right? So we look at the visual, and then we also chose to really enhance the use of the wood cut, simply because that was very prevalent at the time, but this also gives the opportunity to make a sign huge or really tiny favicon and still held its look, all right? Now, we talk about evidence base. So now it becomes mathematical. I don't know, you're all kind of getting twitching, and I'm the same. It's like math. Like I was told, Isabel, I was told there would be no math this evening. But no, this is a mathematical process when you look at it, okay? So Farm Boy says, all right, we got the logo, we love it, this is fantastic. We need stationery, we need a business card, we need a letterhead and an envelope. All right, let's make it look like an old-fashioned grocery bag. Not rocket science. On brand, disruptive. But honestly, I really expelled 0 brain cells on this one. But look at it, it's wonderful, right? It works. But I couldn't have done this without that evidence, all right? Uniforms. This wasn't even a job that I was asked to do. I went into the stationery meeting and said, can we talk about the uniforms that your staff wear? Sure, and I'm not kidding you. They were wearing dress shirts, black ties, black pants, and black shoes. I shit you not, all right? And I said, and they said, why, what's wrong with them? I said, what's right about them? Well, I said, why are you doing that? And said, well, it's professional. I said, yes, if you're at a restaurant, would you pick carrots out of the field wearing what your staff wear? No. Would you bake cookies wearing what your staff wear? Well, no. I said, okay, then why? All right, it's not on brand. You need aprons, just like from the photo from Upper Canada Village in the bakery. Baseball hats, unbleached cotton t-shirts, keep it simple. But also, look at the contrast. Look at how powerful that logo is and simple. It's a black apron with white stitching on it. They did not kill the budget with this stuff. We didn't go crazy, but it's effective, okay? Next cashier, please. No, thank you. Let's build little fences with statements like tending the fields, please see another farmhand. Baking cookies, please see another farmhand. Milking the cows, please see another farmhand. It's all about that engagement, not rocket science. Again, it's a picket fence. It's fonts choice. It's language. Store design. Guess what? It's got to look like a barn. For God's sakes, why is that so innovative? Like, seriously, come on. All right, you know, let's put the logo up here. Let's make it look like a barn. So you walk in, you're going into the barn. Okay, remember the color around the windows and that on the granary? There it is. Dormers. All of this stuff is right from that experience. And then when an architectural firm was brought in to redesign it to make them look a little more modern, I'm a big fan of this. I think this is beautiful buildings, but let's take a look at it. Timber frame, stone, corrugated metal, it's all there. They used that PDF presentation that I had done 5 years previous to inform their architectural process. evidence, mathematic. Color, duh. Okay, like color. Oh my God, look at fruits and vegetables. Really, do we have to have this conversation? Right? Strawberries, green peppers. There's our color palette. No brain cells required. It's all there, nice and easy. And let me tell you, when you work for an industry, if you want an industry that you're going to lose your brain at as far as we need it now and we need it good, it's the retail food industry, because you will spend a week preparing ads for a sale on green peppers. And then Friday, it's like, no longer green peppers, it's blueberries. And then you're like, shit. So you've got to spin, right? So you've got to have these efficiencies built in. So here's your color palette. A, it's warm, inviting. B, it's earthy. And C, fucking easy. And then here it is in the wild, packaging, right? It just engages. And by the way, when we started redesigning the stores, I'm like, black shelves, guys, black shelves, not beige. They had beige before. It's like black, because look at this, boom. Everything's jumping right out. It's engaging. It's like, oh, that looks delicious. I'm deathly allergic to peanuts, but I want some, right? So it's that, and there's consistency, there's branding, it's all there. But again, like, okay, we're gonna start selling peanuts. Great, okay. Logo at the top, what is it? Unsalted peanuts. What do we put in the background? Fucking farm, it's green. Thank you very much. Next. Boom, boom, boom. Typography. This is the print shop at Upper Canada Village. They have a print shop there. And these are all the posters that they do, and they print a newspaper there. So I bought a copy of it. Okay, so here's some of the posters that they actually printed. All right. We need a bag of chips designed for Farm Boy. Okay, here you go. Sea salt, just like Fall Fair. Popcorn, just like Upper Canada Village. Woodcut illustration in the background. Blue, because, you know, salt. Beige, because, you know, Farm Boy. Boom, 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 done, out, beautiful, engaging. We want to put photographs on everything. No, you need to sit right down and listen to me. There will be no photographs on packaging at Farm Boy. Why? Because it didn't exist at the time, and every other fucking grocery store out there has photographs, right? We're going to do illustrations. Why? Look. Seed packaging from back in the day. How beautiful is this? This speaks to artisan. This speaks to quality, not a fucking photograph. All right. So we created a whole series of woodcut illustrations. These are ones that we did in-house. Every time we needed to do an ad, we created, you know, if we needed a strawberry, okay, we need to make a strawberry now. So we eventually ended up with this huge inventory of illustrations that we could pull quickly. But we didn't do it ahead of time. We did them when they needed them, so that eventually we had something. All right. So then packaging strategy, illustrations instead of photographs, hierarchy, logo at the top. What is it? It's a flatbread. And then here's a nice little illustration. It's not distracting. It is supportive, and it is artisan, and it's on brand. And you see the color palette that we're seeing here as well. Here's an example of oatmeal in a cup. If we had put a photograph of Granny Smith apples on here, the expectation would be that you're going to expect slices of Granny Smith apples in this container. Guess what? They're little fucking cubes of apple in this, and you're going to be really disappointed. When we use illustration, we're not being literal, we're being figurative. So the expectation of slices of apple is gone because we've just shown them an illustration. Oh, it's apples. Awesome. When they open up, they're not disappointed. Milk. This one's hilarious, okay? Because I literally designed this in the meeting when they said, we want to sell our own milk. And I sketched this, and it went in the stores, and people lost their fucking minds. It was like we had reinvented, we had discovered alchemy or something. And I'm like, seriously? Let's follow the math. We're Farm Boy. We would like to put milk and sell our own milk. What do? Put it in a bottle like they did back in the 1800s. Put the logo, say what it is, put a fucking cow. Thank you very much. We're done. Okay. It's a $3 deposit for these in the store. Very few of them come back because people like to hang on to these things. You put jujubes in it, you put Skittles in it, you put you know, whatever. And don't tell me you're putting vegetables in it because I will really freak out. But that's, again, this was simple, not rocket science. It was very straightforward. This brand sold for $800 million, okay, to a competitor. So they sold for $800 million to another grocery store. So you can't say that Sobeys is buying Farm Boy for their ability to buy bananas, because Sobeys can buy more bananas at a cheaper price and distribute it more efficiently because they're much bigger than Farm Boy. All right, so now you're saying, dude, seriously, you said there was going to be 4 things and you only covered 3. Okay. I get math. I understand math. Okay, so settle down, sit down, because here's number 4. Forgetting the computer as a tool makes you the tool. Okay, there's nothing artificial about your intelligence. Work first, then go to the computer. I love technology. I adore technology because it makes my work better. It does not make my work. All right, I'm sketching, I'm thinking, I'm writing down, then I go to the computer. Otherwise, you're the tool, because the computer's going to say, hey, look at this Google image. Hey, go to iStock and just have 3 hours of fun looking at telescopes or whatever and not ever finding what you need. Because, by the way, you didn't need a fucking telescope, but they were such cool pictures, right? How many of you have gone down that rabbit hole? Like, where did 2 hours go? Why am I looking at pictures of cows? Right? Go to your computer. That's number 4. Please and thank you. That's all right, my friends. Thank you very much.